Hey YouTubers! Welcome back to the channel, Culture Confederacy here. Happy Monday. So Trump is having this hush money trial in New York City today. But the big case this week, big trial, is actually going to be with SCOTUS, this January 6th defendant, Joseph Fisher. So they're going to hear arguments about this tomorrow, Tuesday, and there's an article about this at NBC. It says here, Supreme Court tackles January 6th obstruction charge with Trump case looming. By the way, thank you for watching, subscribing, being a part of this thing called the Culture Confederacy. As you know, I love doing this channel. Try to do more of these one-take videos, be more authentic with the audience. So it says here, in the weeks before the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol, Joseph Fisher wrote a text message talking about his desire to take Democratic members of Congress to the gallows, that's in quotes, and predict politicians would be dragged out of the Capitol and hung after a mob trial. This is according to the government. And we know how honest the government is, right? In this text, he also wrote, quote, can't vote if they can't breathe, referring to George Floyd, of course. So it goes on to say here that Fisher is asking the court to throw out one charge he's facing, obstruction of an official proceeding. But it's not just Fisher's charge that hangs in the balance. Trump has been charged with violating the same law and a conspiracy provision. As such, the Supreme Court ruling could affect his prosecution too. So this could have major implications on Trump's case if Joseph Fisher wins with SCOTUS here. Authorities say on January 6, Fisher joined the crowd breaching the Capitol from the east side. Charge, he yelled again and again. The government says before pushing forward toward a police line while yelling, mother effers, he and other rioters fell to the ground. Oh, he said a cuss word. I guess that's a major crime. Like none of you people in Congress have ever used the F word. Not that I agree with the F word, but come on. You people in Congress by no means are saints, okay? Shall I go back and check the record on that? Bill Clinton? After other rioters lifted him up and other other members of Congress, Ted Kennedy, well, he's passed on, but after other rioters lifted him up, video disclosed in evidence in other January 6 trials shows that he had tried to appeal to officers protecting the Capitol, telling them that he was an officer too. It's our effing house, brother, the video appears to show Fisher saying. After an officer tells Fisher to turn around and leave, he appears to appeal to the officer to stand with them, quote, as a patriot. Take a knee, members of the mob chanted as Fisher recorded on his cell phone, of course, taking a jab at the other side. Now, we could avoid all of this. Okay, January 6th would have never happened if we had more political voices in the fray here, instead of Republican and Democrat, instead of relying on D.C. to fix our problems. If you brought everything back to the states, you wouldn't have seen a January 6th. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. You can take that to the bank, brother. Getting back to the article, Fisher, who is yet to go to trial, also faces charges for assaulting a police officer. Now, I don't agree with that. So if he assaulted a police officer, he should be charged with that. And entering a restricted building, among others, those charges will not be affected by how the court rules on the obstruction count. Well, of course, NBC, because we're talking about obstruction here. This is what he's bringing before the Supreme Court. Saying, yeah, I was guilty of all this other stuff, but I did not obstruct an official proceeding. Now, Trump has cited the Fisher case, including in his most recent filing at the Supreme Court concerning his bid to obtain presidential immunity for his actions, seeking to overturn the election results. Where arguments in that case take place on April 25th. So according to the article here, what's at play is Title 18, Section 1512C2 of the U.S. Code, which criminalizes any effort to corruptly obstruct, influence, or impede any official proceeding. And convictions can result in a prison sentence of up to 20 years. So that's the latest. NBC News. Let me give the author of the article here. I always give credit to the authors of these articles. This is by Lawrence Hurley and Ryan J. Riley. So again, an NBC News, title of the article, Supreme Court tackles January 6 obstruction charge with Trump case looming. So however the Supreme Court rules in this case with Joseph Fisher is going to have a major impact on Trump. So we'll see how it all plays out. Thank you for being with me. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. You can also follow me at Instagram, #JasonComposes, because I write music in my spare time. Or you can go to X, Culture Confederacy, at Culture Confed1 on X. This is the Culture Confederacy, saying peace out, stay safe, everybody. God bless this thing called the United States. And you know how we do it here. This is where the past crashes with the present. I'll catch you next time, and you all have a great Monday.